Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's the start of a new week, the end of an old month. We're halfway through the year and most of that year we've been spent locked in our own homes. Isn't life blinking marvellous? Well, fortunately life does bring marvels to us, and one of those marvels is today. It's a rock solid map. It looks really, really good at first glance and at second glance. Maybe let down by the third glance. We'll soon see. Now, a little bit of background information. It's
my first map.
That's right. So the first time we've seen this creator, and they clearly have skills. So it's not going to be a complete catastrophe, which I know a lot of you worry about with my first maps. But before we get on and have a look at this non-catastrophe, let's have a catastrophe of our very own. That's right, catastrophically slapping that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Monty Bay by D21 Joint. Okay then. Alright, I'm sure there's a little clue in there as to maybe a hobby of theirs. They're a joiner. There's your start square. Start square looks okay. It's all going on. There's your terrain heights. Terrain heights are very pretty. Very pretty. As are the resources. Gotta say they look very good as well. Lots of fertile to work with there. And then if we have a little look at the fishing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it'll look like that. Probably not the most exciting, but it wasn't built for that. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's no DLC required today, and if we scroll down, you'll see there are no requirements on the right. No one-click collection. We'll be using the realistic version 1.2.13 Boreal theme and the dark green LUT. Okay, now it is a dead-end map. Basically, we have a highway and a rail coming in from here, and nowhere else. So all your traffic's going to be coming from this direction, which can be a bit of a problem if you've got a lot of traffic. If you're doing a speed build, this might clog up pretty quickly. But once you actually have a look at how much build space we've got on the map, which is adequate without being generous, I think this is going to be okay. It'd be nice to have a second highway somewhere, but there isn't, and this is what we have to work with, and it's fine. And we got the rail as well, the rail working as a combined backbone. Now, the highway here, my biggest grumble with the highway would be, I think it's elevated a bit too far. It could have come down to ground a little bit earlier than that, but it's kind of out of the 25 tiles, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much, does it? Does it? Does it? No, it doesn't. Okay. I was just double checking. Oh, hello. I've got some wildlife trying to land on me. Can you fly somewhere else, please? Thank you very much. Yes, so as it's aesthetically very pleasing, considering 100% vanilla. Look at this vanilla trees. Clusters of trees are very neat and tidy. A good mix, bringing it's just quite nice. It's quite aesthetically absorbing. Okay, right. Start square intersection. It's a swirly about. I do like these a lot. It does handle quite weight of traffic, and it'll probably want to as well. And if we head over this way, we'll go backwards, behind us in a minute. So we'll go down there in a minute. But for now, let's head down to what is the start square intersection, I guess. This one, again, clean and tidy. There are aspects of this you may have noticed already which are going to be key to the problem with the map, but we've also got, if we ignore the aspects which you may well have spotted, we have a bit of a divot going on there which could be just tidied up and cleaned up as well. But yeah, other than the divots, it's a good looking intersection. But if you've spotted the aspects, we'll be talking about those in a few moments, so don't worry, you haven't missed anything. Start square looks like this, and we have an asset of the day, because we always have an asset of the day. This one is and this is where I'm going to get the pronunciations completely wrong, Reismann-Gymnasium Highschool Mittelbau by Yosh. Great looking building, kind of got a serrated front edge to it, and it looks amazing. Right, okay, let's do factoids because factoids. This one is a little bit dated, obsolete one would say, but I'm going to read it anyway, and then I'll revert to Google in a second to give you the up-to-date one. On today's date, the 29th of June, the oldest authenticated man in the world... Oh, here, let's have a go at this one then. Shigechiyo Izumi of Japan was born. And he was, he was 118 years old on this date in 1983. So, happy birthday to you, sir. No doubt long since passed. A Reismann-Gymnasium Highschool Mittelbau by Yosh. Today's asset of the day. And we'll head back to the highways and stuff. So we'll skip over this highway and down to this highway. Quick glance at the latest information that I've got from Google on the oldest people. The oldest person whose age... Oh, hang on. No, let's have a look at the rail. First of all, rail, we've got a pillar here. And it skips across the highway. It's a little bit low. We'll talk about the height of them in a minute. Meaning it clips into this gantry, which is not pretty. And then if it skips across there, it skips across all the way down to the next pillar is all the way down there. Long old stretch without any pillars, and it probably would need a bit of extra support. Okay, oldest person whose age has been independently verified is Jean Calment, I think that's the name. Also, again, we've got another long stretch here without pillars and a clipping street lamp as well there. Our oldest person ever verified, 1875 to 1997 of France, 122 years, 64 days. And I'm still looking at this. Yes, it's a little bit low, but if you have a look, we can drive under it. So I'm going to suggest that it is high enough. But it's when you're working at low levels like that, you've got to watch out for all your technicalities. And technicalities are like clipping street lamps and stuff. Anyway, the oldest verified man, I don't know what the difference between the oldest independently verified and the oldest verified is, but it was, Jiro Man Kiruma, 1897 to 2013 of Japan, 116 and 54 days. Right, okay, intersection here, potential start location, but have a look, 2-lane highway. Did you spot that on the earlier intersection? Did you? Well, 2-lane highways are a bit of a bane. Low ones as well, with clipping street lamps as well. Yes, 2-lane highways are a bit of a bane, and we'll talk a little bit more about those in a moment. Regulars to the show will already know what I'm going to say. Yeah, you already know what it's getting for gameplay, don't you? You already do. Yeah, you're right. At the end of the highway, you have one of these. Again, a swirly about. Really lovely for building a city at the very end. There's a lot to like about this map. There really is a lot to like about it. We do have the rail running along the backbone. We've already seen how it's a little bit low over the highways and missing pillars, but I don't seem to see any encroaching foliage, not anything that's actually interfering with the catenaries, so that is a good thing. Anyway, yes, up and over the highway here. Up and over the highway back there, that's all very clean and tidy as well. And then we've got a junction, elevated junction there, which is nice and tidy too. Got to say I like it. And then a slight bit of catenary chaos there, with the catenaries just standing on the rails. Not that it makes any difference. And of course a clipping street lamp. Now if we go down this way, we've got potential start locations again, and yes, another 2-lane highway. Those are indeed network extensions too, which means it needs to be declared on the workshop, which means if you haven't got network extensions 2 and you load this map, the map will indeed be broken. And if it's broken, then you've waited 10 minutes for it to load, you won't be very happy. And if you're not happy, then I'm not happy, and if I'm not happy, then actually it doesn't make any difference if I'm happy or not. But you know what I mean. Okay, the rail now heads off back around the side of the island here. Just cuts alongside of the mountain, just to be a bit different. I don't have a problem with that. And we'll head off towards the edge of the map, which means it's going to be time for a little intermission. Do like a paid promotion, don't you?
can't believe I'm plugging this, but my husband, this old gamer, has a YouTube channel where he builds cities or something. He thinks he's funny and different from other Cities Skylines channels, but what he needs to do is take out the trash. But in the meantime, check out this old gamer.
Right, and we are back to Monty Bay by D21 Joint, and we have a shipping route. Now, the shipping route is fine, doesn't do anything wrong, but it does head up into the bay. Well, you'd want it to head up into the bay, wouldn't you? That's the thing. As it heads up into the bay, you can see we do a little loop of the bay, and then we go back out. Now, there is no shortcut, which means that every ship is going to be coming up and into the bay and back out, whether it wants to or not. And I feel that should be a one-way dead end into the bay with a direct route outside of the island. We do have here, this is a little bit unusual. It looks like it's going to be some sharp angles, but look, they don't actually intersect. One loops over the other. So there's not actually going to be any turning ships there at all, which is quite nice. There will be some clipping shipping where they actually float through each other. They don't fly, do they? At least I hope not. Good blimey, can you imagine? You see that Doctor Who episode with the Titanic from space? Yeah, it'd be a little bit like that. And then we have the shipping routes which just loop in and out of all of the coves. A little bit too much for my preference, but again, is it a problem? It really isn't. These bits aren't the problem, but the one that goes into the bay and back out again, it's going to be a lot of shipping going through the middle of your city for no reason. Water flow. Now, in that bay, we do have a water spawn point up here, which is just a little bit higher, and it's just pumping out a little bit of water. That should keep water flowing through your start square, don't you think? And the answer is, well, down by the start square, we do have flowing water for those people that want flowing water start square, but it's coming in from the edge of map. It's edge of map water flow, which means somewhere up in that area there is potential for a sewage trap. Somewhere around about here, I feel, probably. So just beware if you're going to be doing any sewage pumping. Okay, all told, I quite like this. It has got a bit of a basic vibe to it, although the actual aesthetics of the terrain is really very nice. But the build is just a little bit uninspiring, but playable. And I think there are going to be people out there will enjoy playing a map exactly like this. Just a flat, simple terrain, and it's all good. Loving the trees. The actual tree painting on this map is very good indeed. Considering, again, 100% vanilla, it's excellent. And the hills and the mountains I am so sold on. This is a creator that has got some really good skills in their back pocket. And so all credit for all of that. So yeah, excellent work. Now, we do have some other bits and pieces that we can have a little glance at, like up here we've got this lake, and I don't mind the lake. You can see we've got some kind of reservoir at the front of it. If we come down and have a look at the reservoir, though, you'll see that it's actually not a reservoir, but a little bit of a bridge, which would be okay in itself, except for this is the one place that we have Blue Mantle. Now, is anybody going to notice that? No, nobody's going to notice it, but I'm going to mention it anyway because, well, it's kind of a job. We do have one or two drowned trees down here as well, which could do with just like the bulldozer just to get rid of them. And I thought I saw another one down here, but I can't see it now. So let's just say that it isn't there, and that was just my hyperactive imagination. So anyway, that's the map. That is the map. What do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. You can vote now by clicking the I button in the top right hand corner. It takes you to the voting page where you can sign in with your current YouTube or Facebook or Gmail or even a free Patreon account. Right then, what do I think of this map? Well, I think aesthetically it is striking. It is eye-catching. It is very memorable, and even things like the tree painting is really exquisite. I can't quite give it a 5th star, but it is a very strong 4-star map. Well done for that. High credit. First map, and it's an absolute beaut. Detailing is on the whole quite good. and then let down at the same time. It's a shame, because you can see that this creator has got skills. I'm going to give it 3 stars. If a few of these little issues are taken out, it would easily get 4 stars for detail. Gameplay potential, honestly, I was going to give this 3 stars. It feels like a 3-star map. Playable, probably a once through play. But network extensions 2 is required. It's not listed, which means it's a broken map, which means I have to give it 1 star. I hate doing it. It's 3 stars for me, but it's truly 1. Monty Bay by D21 Joint. That is a striking map that is very close to being a strikingly good map. And so, all credit. And now you know what's wrong with it. There's no reason not to play it, is there? Off you go then. Well, you're waiting for my permission. Go on. Anyway, if you're still watching, you're in the 20 and out elite. For 100 population points, use the word on the screen now. And then tomorrow, I'm going to ask you how many population you currently have. So start adding up your scores, will you? And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.